Hello, my dear students. My name is S. Suresh Singha. I'll be teaching you biology. Okay. So first, we'll start from Unit 1, Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Biological Classification. So first, let us try to understand the meaning of this. What is this classification? Classification deals with the mode of arranging organisms or group of organisms into categories according to a systematic plan or an order. So that means we have to arrange all the organisms into different groups or categories according to their similarity. For example, all the plants can be put in one group, and all the animals can be put in one group. In animals also, there are different types of animals, for example, which can live in the water, they can put into one group, and which can run on the land can put in one group, and then which can fly in the air can put in one group. Likewise, from those which live in the land also, we can make an arrangement for them in different subgroups. So this is what we call as classification. Okay. Now you see the system of classification. So the earliest classification was given by Aristotle. So Aristotle was the first person who gave this classification. So during his time, he classified the plants into herbs, shrubs, and trees. That means these plants, green plants, he divided into three groups. Herbs, very small. Plants like grasses, shrubs little bigger, and trees very big plants. So he classified these plants into three groups. He also divided animals into two groups, those with RBCs and those who do not have RBC. So the animals were also divided into two groups, with one having RBC, that means what? Red blood cells, and another which did not have red blood cells. In almost all the animals we found RBC, and some insects we do not found this RBC. So he categorized the animals into two groups, and whereas the plants he categorized into three groups: herbs, shrubs, and trees. Okay, so this was the earliest classification, which was given by Aristotle. Then after that, two kingdom classification. Okay, two kingdom classification. This was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, two kingdom system classification was given by Carolus Linnaeus. So the two kingdoms is plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Okay, this was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, plant kingdom and animal kingdom. He probably divide the living organisms into two groups, that is plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Then comes five kingdom classification. This was given by R.S. Whittaker in 1969. The five kingdoms are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. This already you have studied in class 9 also. So there are five kingdoms. All the living organisms are divided into five kingdoms. They are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. This is the latest. Okay, these are accepted by almost all the scientists. So, according to him, the classification for these organisms, okay, certain main criteria are there for classification of these organisms into these five groups. They are cell structure, according to the structure of the cell, thallus organization, then mode of nutrition, reproduction, and phylogenetic relationship. By looking all these criteria, he divides all the living organisms into five kingdoms. Now, let us come to the kingdom Monera, first kingdom. So this kingdom Monera, they are prokaryotic. Okay, kingdom Monera are prokaryotic. That means they do not have a well-defined nucleus. Okay, well-defined nucleus means nucleus will be there at the center of the cell, almost at the center, and that nucleus will be surrounded by a nuclear membrane. Okay, so that nuclear membrane is not there. So we'll call this one, the nucleus is not well defined. Okay, so such organisms where their nucleus is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane, okay, includes under this prokaryotic. So they are prokaryotic, okay, which do not have a well-defined nucleus. So this includes bacteria are the sole members of this kingdom Monera. In this kingdom Monera especially bacteria, okay, almost all bacteria, okay, many bacteria, not almost, many bacteria are included in this kingdom. According to their shapes, these bacteria are categorized into 4 groups. Okay, so these bacteria which are prokaryotic, that means where their nucleus is not well defined, that is, their nucleus is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane. So again, these bacteria are divided into 4 groups. So the 4 groups are coccus. Okay, the 4 groups are coccus. Coccus, the shape of the coccus is spherical. This is spherical in shape. So this is coccus. And next is bacillus. Bacillus is rod shape. So simply they are rod shape. Sometimes there will be a bulging and will be there where their spores are formed. Okay, the spores. So this is bacillus. Next is vibrio. So this vibrio is comma shape. Okay, vibrio is comma shape. And spirulum, spiral shape. Okay, so these are the 4 groups of this bacteria. So the 4 groups of the bacteria are coccus, bacillus, vibrio, and spirulum. So you can see their shape also. According to their shape, it is categorized into 4 groups. Next, bacteria are found in almost everywhere and can be autotrophic or heterotrophic. See, this bacteria, it is found in almost everywhere of the earth. Maybe in the very cold region, or maybe in the hot this spring, or in the desert, or in the very cold this mountain regions like Himalayan region. So it is found everywhere, every part of the earth, and also found in the very deep part of the sea also. So these bacteria are found in almost everywhere and can be autotrophic or heterotrophic. Autotrophic means where they can make their own food. Autotrophic. You know, plants is an autotrophic. Okay, and it is due to the presence of chlorophyll. Or some bacteria may be heterotrophic. Heterotrophic means which cannot make their own food. They will depend on others. So it is known as heterotrophic. So bacteria is found everywhere and maybe autotrophic or heterotrophic. Okay. Then this bacteria are of 2 types, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Okay, bacteria can be divided into 2, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. So halophiles. Okay, halophiles. What type of bacteria is this? These halophiles are soil loving. Means they live in the salty water, live in the salty areas, especially in the sea. You know, sea is this salty area. So in this place they used to live. So those which live in the salty areas, they are known as the halophiles. Thermoacidophiles. So these live in the hot springs. Okay, from the spring water. In some spring water, it is very hot all the time. They are hot, and they are known as a hot spring. Even in this very hot spring water, they can live, and they are known as thermoacidophils. Then methanogens. They live in marsh areas, in decomposed areas, especially, and in the gut of ruminant animals. Ruminant animals means those animals which eat grasses and all. For example, this cow, buffalo, goat, etc. They are known as ruminant animals. They produce methane gas. Okay, these methanogens bacteria, they live in marsh areas and live in the gut, in the intestine of these ruminant animals, and they produce methane gas. You know, this methane gas is a gas which is highly inflammable, which is to burn very fast. Okay. The next is eubacteria. They are also known as true bacteria. This bacteria, there is presence of rigid cell wall. Okay, cell wall. Cell wall is also found in the plant. The outermost layer of the plant cell is known as a cell wall. That type of cell wall is also found in this eubacteria. If motile, flagellum. That means if these bacteria are motile, means which can move from one place to another place, then there will be presence of a flagellum or a flagella. Flagellum means hair-like structure which is present outside the body. Okay, long hair-like structure which is present outside the body, which will help in swimming of the bacteria. Okay, with the help of that flagellum, they can move from one place to another place. Then cyanobacteria. It is also known as blue-green algae, are photosynthetic autotrophs. This cyanobacteria, there is presence of this chlorophyll. So with the help of that chlorophyll, they can make their own food. So they are photosynthetic autotrophs. Some, like Anabina, have specialized cells called heterocysts for nitrogen fixation. There are some bacteria under this eubacteria, okay, like this Anabina. So in this Anabina, there is some cells which is known as the heterocysts. Okay, this heterocyst cell is meant for what? Is meant for fixing of the nitrogen. Means the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere, that can be fixed in that heterocyst. Okay, so other cells cannot fix this nitrogen, but this heterocyst cell, they can fix this nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere. Then next is chemosynthetic. Okay, see heterocyst is here. I think before you didn't see this one. Okay, so heterocyst for nitrogen fixation means in this heterocyst cell, they can fix the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere. Okay, next is chemosynthetic. Okay, chemosynthetic autotrophs. These chemosynthetic autotrophs, they oxidize various inorganic substances like nitrates, nitrites, ammonia, and use the release energies for their ATP production. Okay, these bacteria, they will oxidize various inorganic substances, especially these nitrates and nitrites, ammonia, And whatever that they have oxidized, from there this energy is released. Okay, the release energy for their ATP production. And so that release energy is used for ATP production, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, with help of this one, all animals can move from place to place. Okay, jump or swim because of the presence of this ATP. And this ATP is produced from nitrates, nitrites, or ammonia by oxidation process. Next is heterotrophic bacteria. This heterotrophic bacteria, they decomposes, okay, help in making curd, production of antibiotics, nitrogen fixation, cause disease like cholera, typhoid, etc. Okay, they cannot make their own food. Okay, they cannot make their own food, but they help in making what? Curd from the milk, production of antibiotics, okay, then nitrogen fixation. Some diseases are caused by this heterotrophic bacteria like cholera, typhoid, etc. Then microplasma, they are organisms that completely lack cell wall. This microplasma completely lack cell wall. They are smallest living cells and can survive without oxygen. Many are pathogenic in animals and plants. So these organisms